Here am I on a beautiful summer's morning for Valour, Canada. It's a beautiful beach, people are exploring it, people paddling in the sea. But on the 19th of August 1942, this was a scene of the Dieppe Raid, where on the seafront at Dieppe. Why the raid came about remains very controversial. Let's put it this way, Britain had been driven out of Europe by the Nazis in 1940, Dunkirk. Nazi Germany had invaded the Soviet Union in the spring of 1941, and Stalin was demanding we do something. Well, we were fighting in the Western Desert, but we had lots of troops in Britain, and despite bombing of Nazi Germany, not much was going on as far as many people were concerned. The RAF wanted to draw out the Luftwaffe and give them a bloody nose because they were failing to come over the channel and play fair. And very importantly, Mountbatten had been put in charge of combined operations. Controversial figure himself, he was very keen on a raid to demonstrate what could be done, get intelligence, which may or may not include capturing an Enigma machine, and really finding out about the state of German defences. General Montgomery advised against it, or advised an envelopment, not a frontal assault. Decision eventually was to go ahead, RAF cover, limited naval support, no bombing of the town to reduce civilian casualties, and to do the whole thing in daylight. It begins at 4:50 in the morning with attacks on both flanks. There's two sets of beaches on both sides of us, but here at about 5:15, Essex Scottish and the Hamilton Light Infantry arrive on the beach, supported by tanks of the 14th Tank Regiments with their Churchills. They were meant to arrive early. They don't arrive early, they arrive after the infantry, and when they get here, of the 29 tanks that get ashore, the majority don't even get over the sea wall behind me, which was higher in those days. When they do get over there, they discover that the Nazis have blocked all the gaps between the buildings, and the 302nd Division of the Nazi army is ready. They've got positions on hilltops on both sides of here. They're ready in the buildings there. There's barbed wire entanglements. It's hell. They call then for the Fusilier Mont-Royal to come forward at roughly 7 o'clock, and they just add to the basically the shambles on the beach. It's all over in a few hours. Not a single tank gets off. They're able to give limited cover. The raid's really all over by about lunchtime. Of the 6,000 plus men that get ashore, about 3,500 men are either killed, wounded, or missing. Most of those that are wounded and the missing are prisoners of war. They're going to spend up until 1945 in prisoners of war camps. And the casualties are horrendous. Was it worth it? Well, we really can't say, other than it gave valuable information about what not to do in a combined operation. It's a very, very bloody way of discovering how to make mistakes, but those mistakes are not made again. And when we think about what happens just less than 2 years later, D-Day, that is a true combined operation that works, and all the problems here, whether it's bridging the seawall, getting across the shingle, getting tanks ashore before the infantry, they're all solved, and cooperation between the Navy, the Army and the Air Force is far more successful.